Been late, offense stalled out, defense. That's right. Out. That's right. All right, we got the D-line turned loose on the sack slate. Awesome job all around. Could go on and on and on. You guys are going to see it. We had some dudes, big time stats. A lot of dudes deserve to break it. Here's the deal. Job's not done. Job's not done. All right? Coach Grizz, who's going to break it? B-Money! B-Money went over 1,000 yards tonight.
Hey, this is the Walking Strong podcast with Billy Embody and Bill Armstrong. Stay tuned. Onward.
All right, Thaddeus. Here's my boy Thaddeus. If you guys don't know who this man is, pretty famous. You would never, you're too humble to talk about it. But this is the man who produced and directed Pony Excess on 30 for 30 ESPN. That was, I think, tell me if I'm right or wrong, the most popular episode ever of 30 for 30.
Well, Bill, I could never tell you were wrong, so
Nobody
that's a great
ever
knowledge. That's some amazing knowledge. He's right, ish. It's the most. It was the most watched documentary premiere in ESPN's history. It has since a couple of surpassed it, but I take that as a compliment. We did our job. People knew that they were going to get quality. We were the second one they showed after the Heisman. The first year was the U and then us, and so that's usually the one that does pretty well. So it was really cool though to be able to do that because I was the only unknown name of the 30 directors.
Oh, is that right?
And we closed out the series. We were a replacement 30 for 30 and rushing 24 hours a day, all that kind of stuff, and got it out in the nick of time. And man,
It's such a good show. All of Mustang Nation, if you have not watched Pony Excess on 30 for 30, just Google it. You can find it online. It is such a good watch. It is just fantastic.
Perfect time for this in this historic time for SMU. So, Thaddeus, thanks for the intro. And now, on to Walking Strong.
This is the On the Pony Express podcast, hosted by Billy Embody, brought to you by Epoch Estate Wines. Walking Strong on the Pony Express, a weekly segment with SMU alum, owner, vintner of Epoch Estate Wines, Bill Armstrong. Epoch Estate Wines, world-class wines from Paso Robles wine country. Learn more, Epoch, E-P-O-C-H, epochwines.com. And now your host. Billy Embody.
1, 2, 3, let me go. And ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Walking Strong
my
with
podcast
Bill
partner
Armstrong.
Oh, I love it, baby. Look at this day.
Yeah.
I mean,
Eat.
Dallas, this is just incredible. You can see the rotunda behind us right here in Dallas Hall. Just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Dude, I don't really have a script for today at all.
Yeah.
Of course, wouldn't we ever have a script?
Very rarely.
But let's, we got the Boston College game to talk about.
Yes.
Very nice win. The revenge game of the Wasabi Bowl.
You just love saying it.
I do. I mean, think about this worst name ever
Yeah.
for a bowl game. The Fenway Bowl, Wasabi Bowl. So it was a revenge game. And
Leaves SMU.
what's that?
Leaves SMU.
Oh, what are we now? 9-1?
9-1.
9-1. Holy crap! I said we'd be 9-3 at the beginning of the season. So all we got to do is get one more win, and we beat my prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, that's what
you're
this
ahead
team's
of you.
doing. Yeah, way ahead.
I know.
Way ahead.
I just love it. It's so much fun. We have what? We're only 3 of the undefeated schools in their conference now, right?
Yeah. Wild stuff.
Wild stuff. Hey, I've got to introduce some wine this week. A fantastic wine. By the way, this is for my boy, Thomas Jefferson. He formed UVA back in 1819, and he was such a Francophile He absolutely loved wine. In fact, one of the very first ever vineyard attempts in the United States came 3 years before the Revolutionary War, 1773. He planted a vineyard outside around his home in Monticello.
Wow.
And but for frost and disease and a war, it was a failed business venture. But you got to give it up to TJ, because he said at that time, he goes, there's no reason why America can't make just as good of wines as they do in France.
Something you've done.
Something I've done, which, thank you for mentioning that, but he was 200 years ahead of his time. And so we're going to have a bottle of Mourvedre, a French varietal, because of my boy TJ. It's absolutely awesome wine. This is a 98-point scoring wine, and if you like big wines like Tempranillo, Syrah, Cab, Mourvedre is your brand. It's your varietal. So you're going to absolutely love this.
Speaking of which, congratulations on the Statesman. Speaking of Cab.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we have our
can't wait
first
to try
ever.
that one.
It is really, really good. Guys, you can find this bottle in our Pony Express case. Dang, dude, we're on a week 11. Are we in week 10?
It's week 13, I think, technically.
Oh, holy
insanity.
Absolutely insane.
This year has flown by so fast.
Oh,
Cheers.
I mean, it's our last away game. By the way, we've won 9 consecutive away games. I mean, think
Pretty
about
good
that.
streak.
I mean, think
the
about
longest
that.
active streak in the country.
Is that what it is?
Tied with Texas, I believe.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. So this is to my boy Thomas Jefferson, the original American Francophile wine lover. So,
Love it.
TJ, I'm following in your footsteps, baby. I just love it, and here we are. You want to talk about the game?
Yeah, 38-28, SMU gets the win. They close out that one strong, a revenge game.
It was a revenge game.
Blackout game, the vengeance, the Batman style.
What did you think of the black uniforms?
I think they are as clean as they come in terms
Do
of
you
alternates.
really?
But I like the traditional blues with the white pants and having everybody know that SMU's on.
I kind of agree. I mean,
But if this is the one jersey I would say I'm good with, I'm good with it. I know you like black.
I'm the ultimate lover in black. You know, I go into my closet, I'm not going, I've got everything to wear. I mean,
yeah, you're like,
everything in my closet is
the world's
black.
your oyster
Yeah,
on
I'm
that
just like,
Saturday.
Right, some people are saying, I don't even have anything black. I'm like going, really? You're weird. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of the black uniforms. I know the guys, I know the players love it.
They love it.
And I think they did it particularly for me to be my benefit, because they know how much I love black. But
now 3-0 in those uniforms.
I know we are. We're undefeated.
Yeah,
we're undefeated in those uniforms. But I agree with you. It's just
It's a recruiting
and
thing.
I know, I get it. I don't like seeing the student body in black.
Yeah.
I mean, they look good.
They were there for BC's funeral.
Okay, nice.
Been waiting all
All
week
right.
to say that
no,
one.
that's actually a really good one. By the way, BC surprised me.
Yeah, they surprised me.
They surprised me. We had a precursor to that in the Wasabi Bowl. I mean, they're really big. They're really big up front.
Yep.
And I thought that would give us some fits, but it gave us more fits than I actually thought. I mean, they ran really. Their offensive line really did a good job.
They did.
They did a really good job. It was kind of I don't want to say it's a weird game.
Yep. No, I agree with you. It was weird. Choppy.
It was choppy. We started off so good that first drive, and then we stalled. And then there was kind of a bad snap, and then Colin missed it left. And it was kind of like, okay, that's all right. I mean, you know, we ran down there so quickly. And then we did it. The next time we got the ball, we went down and scored.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this is going to be an easy game.
Yeah.
And then BC does what BC does.
Yeah.
They slowed it down.
Yep. They controlled the line of scrimmage. They really were able to, you know, play with their game plan. I know Rhett said that after the game. BC was never out of their game plan. Yes, they were kind of chasing SMU at various points. They did take the lead at one point, which was the first time in a long time that SMU's trailed.
We haven't trailed an ACC team this year.
Yeah. First time since BYU. Yeah. I mean,
but that wasn't an ACC team.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You know, so it was. And by the way, our boys sucked it up.
Yeah.
And they said, "Here we go." But it was weird. I mean, I was on the sidelines, and I was obviously talking to the guys and seeing their mood. They never panicked. they were never very hyped. It was just kind of a business-like, very Rhett-like, business-like game. What's weird to play an O'Brien team is he really is like, when he gets the ball, he goes, we're going to go 4 plays to get 10 yards. I mean, they went for it on 4th down 6 times.
They present so many different looks, too.
Yeah, I know.
So many different ways. They found a lot of – I didn't feel like – it was one of those games that you were kind of wondering how BC was kind of hanging around, because you looked up and there was a 3rd and 20 at one point.
Oh, my God.
And they converted.
I know.
There's multiple 4th downs. They went 3 of 6 on 4th down.
I know.
So, like,
I know.
It was just one of those things where you're a play away from getting off the field being fine, or you know, you're stopping a drive, and it just wasn't that game where everything was perfect. But you want to know something about this SMU team that I think we've learned over the last 2 years is they just find a way.
They do find a way.
They do, and they don't care if the offense stalls in the 4th quarter, or if the defense is giving up 2 touchdowns in the 2nd quarter. They're like, guys, we got this.
Yeah.
And
no panic at all. No panic at all. I mean, their quarterback surprised me.
Yep.
Grayson did a better job than I thought he would do.
Same here.
He was. I don't want to say he had a lucky game, but we should have picked off like 4 balls.
Yeah.
Of his, and then he threw some passes that when you watch it on replay, like he threaded it through a needle.
Yeah.
You couldn't repeat some of those throws he made.
100%.
You know, so I think in some respects he had kind of a beyond his capability kind of a game.
Yeah, he's playing back at home in Dallas.
Yeah, he's a Duncanville kid. We knew that the scouting on him was you got to put a helmet on him because he doesn't like to get hit. Yeah. And we didn't hit him at all, really,
until the 4th quarter.
Yeah. And so you got to give it up to their O-line. Yeah. I mean, because they protected him. They gave us a lot of looks. So, hey man, it was a win.
Yeah.
You know,
they just needed to get through that one.
It wasn't the most beautiful win, but think about how weird college football is right now.
Yeah.
I mean, BYU just got. It was a Mormon nightmare.
Yeah.
Against a lousy Kansas team.
A fluke punt.
A fluke punt hitting the guy in the back.
Yep.
And then the guy not falling on it. I mean, Clemson. Let's face it, they got lucky to beat Pitt.
Yep.
I mean, that was fluky.
Georgia went or hosted Tennessee and beat them, so now you got even more.
Oh,
SEC.
talk about the weird win. Talk about Stanford's win over Louisville.
Yeah. Oh my gosh!
I mean,
that was wild.
Absolutely wild. So you look at it and it's like, okay, it was a conference game. We didn't play our best, but we won.
Yeah.
And we haven't had that upset. You know that.
I don't think that gets enough credit in the committee's eyes. The only 2 teams that are getting that credit right now are Oregon and Ohio State. And you could say Indiana as well now. You could have said BYU before they lost. But SMU is the one team that's in this college football playoff picture right now that isn't getting enough credit for just doing what they're supposed to do, which is win.
Yeah, just win, baby. And so that was one of those games that I felt like afterwards I was in the locker room. We have the clip of the cold opening. And you could just feel it in the locker room. They didn't really have this like euphoria the way they do in the past. It was just more like, we just won.
Yep.
You know.
We're a little sore.
A little sore.
Physical game.
Yep. Hey, we really missed E-Rob.
Yeah.
I think that was noticeable.
Yeah.
On
especially
the
stopping the run. They were able to run at either side, which I think is something that maybe we learned now. I look at Virginia. I look at Cal. Probably Cal is the only one that could maybe down the stretch be able to take advantage of that.
Right.
And so maybe the matchup favors SMU a little bit more in these next 2, but you got to find ways to win.
I definitely felt like we wore them down with our speed.
Yeah.
And they kind of wore us down with their size.
Yeah, and they possessed the ball.
They possessed the ball
36 minutes to 24 minutes.
Yeah.
So you look at some of those long drives that they had, and they really ate the clock up. You want to know who looked fast? Roderick Daniels. I know he normally does, and so does Burchard.
Oh,
but
Junior.
Junior continues to make plays all over the field for this team, and it's huge.
It's amazing. So my player of the game, it easily could go to KJ. 300 yards, 296 yards passing. Great game for him. Burchard, awesome game. I'm going with Kobe Wilson, man.
Yeah.
16 tackles.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy is like, he is a heat-seeking freaking defensive missile.
Yeah.
He is on it like, it's so impressive.
I believe it's the most tackles in a game since when I was in school, 2013 or something
no kidding.
like that. Yep.
Oh, man.
So Randall Joyner, friend of the show, of course.
Okay, I love
yeah,
that. Well, it could have gone to either one of those. I mean, Burchard's now over 1,000 yards.
Yep.
He broke the rock, as we saw
Yeah.
on the film. But even though our defense didn't play their best game this year, Kobe really was an absolutely just stud game. Hey, you know what? Let's talk about Virginia. Do you want to?
Let's do it.
I am so excited about going to UVA.
Yeah.
This is one of the things about being the ACC that I just relish the most. I mean, we get to go to a storied campus. So you can see right behind us here, Dallas Hall was modeled after Monticello and the Rotunda at UVA. That's why we decided to film this right in front of Dallas Hall. It was founded in 1819 by, yes, Thomas Jefferson.
Yep.
And he was so proud of it that on his headstone, on his grave, he says, the author of the Declaration of Independence, founder of University of Virginia.
Is that the second president that started a college that SMU's played this year? Stanford being did Hoover?
Oh, you're right.
No.
That was Leland
right,
Stanford, but
that's
Herbert
right.
Hoover was the first student.
That's
that
right.
ever went to
There we
Stanford.
go.
That's
Okay.
right.
All right.
And you're right. TJ was the third president. He was the man that orchestrated the purchase of the Louisiana Purchase.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe we
it's
end
amazing.
up. Maybe we end up, headed down to New Orleans for the Sugar Bowl.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
That would be really fun.
It'd be dangerous. We have to
For
make
you, because
Yeah,
you're
no, for
talking
you.
about your favorite cocktails.
We just plug and play the same podcast for last
Yeah, we
year.
could. So you think about it. So Jefferson founds it, 1819, 1,100 acres, just outside of Charlottesville. He designs all of the architecture,
Wow.
which is called Jeffersonian architecture. I mean, imagine having your own architecture named after you. Embodying or Armstrong. I mean, think about it.
San Diegans.
But think about it too. He also started the original curriculum. So all the original classes. So you imagine going into your English class, your writing class, and you're thinking, I have to write for the guy who's we hold these truths to be self-evident.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
A little bit
my
of pressure.
goodness, a little bit of pressure there. So anyway, storied, $13 billion in endowment. Student body's 18,000 undergrad. We're 7, so it's 2.5 times bigger than SMU. Top 25 U.S. News and World Report. I mean, it's one of those storied campuses that I am just like so excited to go to.
Yeah.
And so anyway, super fun. So let's talk about. Love it.
Yeah, love it.
We're doing one right now, baby.
Yeah.
That's one of our dozens of fans.
Yeah, we're only down to like so many that could possibly see us late in this year.
That is hilarious. So let's talk about Virginia.
Yeah.
Because
Pesky.
I feel like that Billy Joel song, "Come Out Virginia, Show Me a Sign." Are they good? Are they not good?
Yeah.
Are they pesky? Are they going to show up like they did against Pitt on the road? Or are they going to show up like they did against Notre Dame with 5 turnovers?
Yeah.
So you just don't really know.
Yeah, they played 2 quarterbacks against the Irish as well.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, going into a game with a little bit of quarterback controversy. Now, BC obviously didn't have Thomas Castellanos, who's gone, but they have kind of a little bit of controversy. Again, you watch Virginia, and they hung around with Clemson in the first half earlier
I know
this
they
year.
did. They did.
And then they got blown out in the second half. So what team are you going to get?
Right.
This is a big game for them. They always play well the week before Virginia Tech. So it's something to obviously prepare for if you're SMU.
So they're not looking past us or to Virginia Tech.
No, they always seem to get up for whoever they play before Virginia Tech.
Interesting.
It's an interesting thing.
They're good. They're a good home. They're a good home team.
Yes.
They
love their noon games.
They play
apparently.
well. Oh, is that right?
They really only want noon games.
Oh, that is hysterical.
Yeah.
This is going to be a cold one.
Yeah, it's going to be 50
It's
at
going to be a
kickoff,
50 at kickoff.
Yeah,
so
have your jackets ready to go. And
I love it.
I think there's going to be a good contingent. A lot of people that travel for the Duke game are going to travel for this one.
Fantastic.
So it might be a good showing for SMU fans on the road. And again, like you said, a chance to get to kind of a storied campus that there's a lot of SMU UVA crossover in a sense.
Oh, completely.
Things
I
like
mean,
that. So
I totally agree. So you guys will really enjoy going there to UVA. I'm really, really excited about going. So
You want to know why you should be even more excited?
why?
A win puts SMU in the ACC championship.
Yes.
In Charlotte.
Just
so
a win.
a lot of
So-
things on the line. It doesn't matter 1 point, 100 points.
I mean, thinking about that, man. Think about that. We're first time ever a G5 school is going up to the P5, now P4.
Yep.
They've never ever been in a position like SMU is. Are we a team of destiny?
I'll have to find out, in a way.
I mean,
I was talking with a couple players. I bumped into a couple walking over to film this podcast, and there's not overconfidence, there's not arrogance, but there is something special about this group. 26, 27 seniors, whatever it is, that have won a championship last year. No matter AAC or not, it's hard to go unbeaten in a league, and it's hard to do what they did. And
Yeah.
they've got experience in how to manage themselves, how to stay even keeled, and all of those things are invaluable to where they're now at
Yeah.
in this process.
Yeah.
And they believe in each other. So it doesn't necessarily, beliefs and all those things don't mean you're going to win, but
yeah.
it's so critical that they don't get flustered at any point.
As Billy Joel said, sooner or later it comes down to fate. We might as well be the one.
Yeah.
So there you go. I'm pumped.
Yeah. This is going to be
I'm
a great
predicting an SMU win by 10.
one. Okay.
What's the?
I saw it hovering
spread?
around 9. So I think Vegas
We're
is,
we're a 9-point favorite.
Yep.
On the road.
So
Okay.
road is worth
I
3 points.
I should be working in Vegas because I always predict almost
Yeah.
what the line
Yeah,
is.
you said 10, I think, for the BC games. I was a little bit more aggressive. Or 14, right?
I think but the line was actually 16 and a half.
No, the
wasn't it?
line ended up like 19-20 for,
Oh, my
for the,
God.
yeah, that one. So Vegas took it on the chin a little bit.
Well, that's all right. So all right, baby. Well, I will see you on Saturday at noon.
Yeah.
It'll be spectacular. All of y'all, thank you for watching this podcast. Make sure you sign up for On the Pony Express, Billy Embody's awesome site. It's incredible. And it only costs you like 30 cents a day. It's like cheap as shit.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
hey.
really great. So you do a great job for all you do for SMU, and I
Appreciate that.
really appreciate that. So excited about the game.
Here's to having a lot of fun in Charlottesville. It'll be potentially a historic day.
Yes.
Which we'll be talking about next week on the podcast. So check out the Pony Express case at epicwines.com/pony. The good stuff right here. SMU's hoping to get more of the good stuff in the win column on Saturday, 11 a.m. Central against Virginia. For Bill Armstrong, I'm Billy Embody. This is another edition of the Walking Strong podcast.
Thanks for listening to the On the Pony Express podcast with Billy Embody. Follow us on your socials on X at SMU-on3 and on Instagram at On3SMU. And keep it locked to OnThePonyExpress.com for more coverage.